All right, we live. So, I want to welcome y'all to the first episode of the Shawn Antonio Experience. Um, Episode number 1. I got some of the guys in the building. You know what I'm saying? Not to sound like Joe Budden, my main man's in them. You feel me? I got my man Vaughn. I got Mark, and I got Mo Ant. You feel me? All of them
Yo,
from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? South side with it. So today's topic is going to be about love and relationships. So we're going to touch on a bunch of different aspects of it from a man's perspective. One of the things that I think is kind of dangerous and curious is that a lot of times you see women getting advice from other women as it relates to men, or you see men who, under the Derek Jackson Act, you know what I'm saying, are misguiding y'all, man. But look, man, we're gonna give y'all some real information tonight. Hopefully y'all will listen. If not, you'll be victimized. You feel me? So
facts.
Real shit.
so we're gonna start with topic number 1. This topic was sent to us by a young lady. And so what are some misconceptions that women have about men? Vaughn, you want to take it first?
Yeah, I can. One of the biggest ones that I have seen. Don't. How can I put it? Fuck it. Every man is out to fuck you. So don't just think that, he's a real nice guy, he's a good guy. Yes, there are some good people in this world. It's simple as this. You can be a good person. You can be a very good person and not nice. You looking for a nice guy. Don't look for a nice guy. Nice guy's gonna get ran over. A nice guy's gonna get stepped on. But a good person can treat you right and still be an asshole. He's not nice. Yeah. Don't look for that nice guy, because that nice guy's gonna end up boring you and making you mad later on when you see how soft he is.
That leads into another topic that we're gonna touch on later.
When it comes into the whole misconception thing, don't be looking for that nice guy. Look for somebody that's gonna fucking give you what you want. And what I mean by that, I mean emotionally, because that's what women are driven with, emotion. Look for that person that's gonna give you that emotion. Don't just go looking for that nice guy. Every guy can be a good guy, but all of them ain't nice. So don't look for the nice guy. Look for the good guy. I'm looking for a nice guy. Don't do that.
What do you think some misconceptions women have about men?
What I feel like are some misconceptions is that I'm gonna throw a curveball. Okay, bro, say we is out here to pipe you. I'm gonna say it like this. You know what I'm saying? We got feelings too. So let me say that that's a misconception. You got some females that do think we all out here just to break your back. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that ain't even the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do have feelings too. I done got to a point in life where, I be kind of tired of just, casual sex, just breaking these bitches' backs for the hell of it. Sometimes I think I be wanting a little extra. I be tired of learning new females and shit. Sometimes I be wanting something at the house when I get off. To rub my feet and the food be cooked by the time I get to the tip. You feel me? So
I think you have a misconception of
misconception.
what
People
that
look at
is.
me and they see the lumber yard. Hey, that's for Vaughn. They see the lumber yard patch. You feel me? They see that alpha patch. You know what I'm saying? They see Chicago on us. They see a beard. They think I'm just out here to break that back, and sometimes that ain't even the case. Like, we got feelings too. So that's why I think it's a misconception that you can't hurt a nigga's feelings out here. Niggas can't be soft hearted.
That's real talk. Mark, how do you feel about the topic?
Hey, before I start, I think Ann has a misconception of what it is to live with his lady.
Damn, why I can't hear more.
Boy, ain't nobody rubbing your feet and none of that shit when you get to the crib, bro. This is a dream, bro. That shit's over with. Fuck you talking about? Hey, I think a misconception that I think a lot of women have, and I don't want to say women because that's a more general word, right? And so it's like just for the most part of it, I think I think they think that all guys are here to pay bills and save everybody. Like, no, I don't think that's the case. I think we go back and forth with these quotational phrases like real men do this and real women do that. That's some BS. I think a guy or a woman, more so if we're talking about women, I think as a guy, me personally, I got the bag on me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to give it away. I didn't work hard to give it away. You know what I mean? I want a woman who's gonna chase my bag. You know what I mean? Like, or match my bag. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I always tell people the difference between one person making six figures is two people. We live in a generation where that living back in 1950 shit worked, where the man of the house went outside to go work and earn a living and all the goof ass shit, and the woman stayed in the house to clean all that shit. How long you think it takes to clean a house? Like, it don't take that long. Like, so y'all have to be that dirty every day. You know what I mean? That's the dumbest shit in the world. What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do after you clean the house? Right. And so it's like that shit should take like an hour or two, depending on if you got some big ass house like that. But when nowadays you got women who are more ambitious than men chasing the bag, and they don't even want to be with a nigga who ain't got the same bag, or you know what I mean, or at least out here trying to chase the bag. So why the fuck would you think I would want that? And so it's like, I don't give a fuck how gorgeous you look.
Right.
I don't care how gorgeous you look.
I was gonna chime in on what you just said. You hit in on a key part of exactly what I was about to say. Societal norms are different. Mm-hmm. Now, as to what personally me, yes, I'm gonna take care of my house. I'm going to provide what you need. But dig this here. It may be a time. Let's say the furnace go out. Let's say I don't have that extra $6,000 that's sitting around just to grab it. I need you to help me pick that slack up. And if you sitting around just waiting for that handout, then guess what? We don't need to be together. I need a partner, not another dependent.
Now it's funny you said that, Vaughn, because this leads into another topic which isn't on the screen, but it's a topic nonetheless. It'll be in there by the time this is produced. You've seen this floating around a lot, and it was a lot of women say if you have to go 50-50 on the bill with a man, then that man is just your roommate. He ain't a man.
I saw that. I saw that, Shawn.
We'll get there. But I don't know if anybody said it because I had stepped out. I had to do a beer run. But another misconception is something's important to you. I get that. But just because I don't show full interest in it doesn't mean that I don't care. It's just that's not important to me. That's not on my priority list. I'm going to listen to what you got to say, but that don't mean I'm just going to jump right into helping you with something. I have other things on my priority list too that are of higher priority. So, for example, when they come in bitching about work, but every other time I gave you a suggestion about how to deal with something, you do your own thing. So you know what? You figure that out. Now my level of caring has dropped because on that situation, my level of caring has dropped on that situation. It doesn't mean I love you less. It doesn't mean I feel any less about you. It's just I don't too much care about that particular situation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Vaughn. I think in many of those instances that becomes a bit selfish, right? And they're trying to pass that sort of like what you didn't say at work, but now you bring it home. Now you want to say it to everybody else type thing. You know what I mean? Like, no, I gave you the ammunition. You know what I mean? I gave you the ammunition to go use. And why? My thing is, why even ask for my advice if you're not going to utilize it? And I get like not all advice is good advice, but you're not even showing me that, you know what I mean, that you're taking what I say. Because like, why the fuck am I even talking at this point? You're going to do what you want to do anyway because you know why? Past experiences afforded me to believe that you're going to do whatever you're going to do. Yep. So why even ask me? You know what I mean? That don't even make sense to me at all, but you nailed it, bro, with that shit. That shit pisses me off a lot.
Okay, my bad. And let me back up a little bit because I never gave my opinion on the previous topic about the misconceptions that women have about men. I think one of the biggest misconceptions that women have is that social media really contributes to this, and other women contribute to it as well, is that they feel like they're the prize, right? And that's cool, that's true. But if you ain't treating that nigga like the prize, I guarantee you 100%, as sure as we sitting here, some other chick is treating him like he's a prize.
Whew.
You better get out of thinking
Facts.
you
Mouthful.
right? And so
Is a word.
real talk. I started writing on this one topic, and the chapter of this topic is called Tears of Joy. Tears like TIERS, like different levels, right?
Yes.
And so it depends on where you are. When you look at high school and college, right? You got in high school, you got niggas that are on different tiers. You got niggas that's hustling, that's on a certain tier, niggas that got money, and athletes. In college, you got niggas that's in frats, and you got athletes, right? So those are the higher tier niggas.
Mm-hmm.
In life, you get the niggas that's nice looking, the niggas that's balling, the nigga that owns the club, the nigga with the six pack, the trainer, the whoever. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga that's in VIP. And the problem is, as you ascend with your taste as a woman, now you trying to get these pick of the litter ass niggas. What you have to understand is that you may be a dime to somebody else, but to him, you're a seven. You're what he sees every day. And so he can replace you before he goes to sleep at night. If you don't treat him like he's the prize as well, then you will just be replaced. I don't care how bad you are. You're run of the mill to him. And that's not to diminish the woman. That's just to tell you the honest truth. Beyonce is probably the most average chick that Jay-Z sees in the course of a day, appearance-wise. He got 100 chicks.
Oh, absolutely.
Traveling.
But she got the bag on her.
Right, exactly.
She got the bag on her. And
But
that's really what makes her, transcendent.
Exactly. Now those intangibles is what makes her, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of appearance, you got, when you're on a road like that, you're an athlete, you know what I'm saying? You're a nigga with the bag, you got 100 women that's following you from hotel to hotel, and they willing to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to bring something else to the table. And you can't bring an inflated attitude and an inflated opinion of yourself to the table, thinking that I'm the shit and that's it. You can be the shit, but treat him like he the shit too.
And you hit it on the head, because I literally was just about to say that this is one of my greatest motherfucking lines I use when I talk to people. Motherfuckers consider Halle Berry the most beautiful woman in the world. Wesley Snipes cheated on her. Mm-hmm. David Justice cheated on her. Motherfucking Eric Benet cheated on her. Mm-hmm. So what that tell you? Mm-hmm. She wasn't bringing something. That monkey whack or something. Mm-hmm. She don't suck dick or she likes something. But look at here.
Facts.
You got to bring whatever.
Right. And now that
I think
I'm listening, Mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just want to.
Dang.
I just want to say and point. I just want to point out that I agree with everything that's been said, because especially when it comes to the prize, I think we don't use that word for men enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we were taught and conditioned that, you know what I mean, you should find you first of all, that king and queen shit, I don't like that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't like these phrases. Oh, treat your king and treat your queen. I don't give no fuck about that shit. Hey, but like the phrases that we use in terms of prizes, or in terms of like, okay, we should treat this woman, we should always be chasing our woman. Well, when do they ever get a chance to chase us? Mm-hmm. As if, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, if I'm doing everything right as a man, as your man, when do you know what I mean? Do you think that you're doing everything right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can possibly think that, right? If, you know what I mean? If there are things that are lagging in a relationship or something like that. So now I think sometimes people need to check their egos at the door, you know what I mean? And then realize, but you know what I mean? That's a whole other type of conversation. I just wanted to say
You know what's funny, bro? And I know, Ant, you got something to say too. You know what's funny, bro? I've had it, and I can't, it's hard for me to even to vocalize this. I've had it to where women were pursuing me, but would angle it in a way to flip it around to make me pursue them within them pursuing me. I don't even know how to say it right, but it's like,
right.
You were pursuing me, but you, what? Wait, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying?
And to go back to what he just said, that's another thing, Mark. I always tell my husband, you have to know your role and who you are. It's simple as this. I tell everybody, I'm no king. my people wasn't any kings. Because if they was kings, guess what? I wouldn't be American. I would be in Africa. I would have still been
exactly.
American. Somebody had to be the motherfucker out there plowing the fields and playing with the horses and cows and shit. You sitting there talking about you a queen. No, you was a hunter-gatherer. So as soon as you your ass down somewhere, because you're not a queen.
So the next,
all hail the proletariat.
right. The next thing was the discussion of 50-50 and women saying that, you know, if they got to pay 50% of the rent or half the bills, then you ain't a real man. And I know you probably got something to say on that.
Oh man, you know I do. Hold on. Bring me back around. Let me tap into this law. I'm gonna try to get in on this Wi-Fi.
Bet them up. Vaughn, you want to start us off?
All right. Like I said earlier, with me, the what, and it goes back to how you're raised. With me, my grandfather always told me, you take care of your family. You are the man of the house. You provide. But like I say, social norms have changed. So along with that, my thought process has changed a little bit. And what I mean by that is, yeah, I'm still gonna pull. I'm gonna pull all the weight. But guess what? If everybody left.
No, we here. I just figured out how to do a solo layout.
I was about to say, okay,
I just figured out how to do a solo layout. So now I'm isolating everybody. I just figured it out.
But no, it goes.
It should isolate on its own though.
Yeah, my grandfather, both of them, they always, you know, you take care of your house, you pay the bills, you make sure everything, you guarantee. So it was put into me. My job is to provide, protect, and love last. Because as part of providing and protecting is making sure I'm always honest and I'm always real and giving them the truth. So even though all that is covered in love, you love last. You give that nurturing last. So with the whole 50-50 thing, I don't have a problem paying for everything. I don't have a problem taking care of the house. But dig this here. Let's say there was times where I was in between jobs. Money ain't as long. This is where you need to come in. It ain't that we roommates. This is a partnership. This isn't just me. That doesn't make me no less than a man because I'm in between jobs. Say I chose to quit a job to go follow my dream. Well, I chose to quit a job because if I stayed there another hour, I was going to punch that manager in the face and now I'm being jail. So if you choose to find a nigga that has no ambition or no employment, then that's on you because you chose to pick up that dependent. He's a dependent. You just got you another child. So don't be mad and trying to call him less than a man because you chose him. You chose this nigga.
Right.
Now, like I say, I ain't got no problem paying front of the bills and paying everything else. But guess what? If I know you making more money than me and the mortgage is out of my damn price range. Now, granted, I might have 37 different hustles along with a retirement coming in. But my financial sense says don't break yourself. So guess what?
Oh yeah.
I need you to pay this mortgage. I'll take care of the gas and lights, but that mortgage, I need you to make sure that's taken care of.
Hey, let's let Ant tap in because I know he ain't gonna be able to hear Mark when Mark start talking.
I think I can hear Mark now. I think I can hear Mark. It's probably just my phone tripping.
Hey, Mark, say something.
Okay, I can hear.
You can go ahead, Mark.
I can hear.
50-50, Mark. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I'll let Big Mo go. Big Law.
Big Law Lightfoot.
Yeah, Big Law is Lightfoot.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna be talking about Uncle Lori in here.
Hey, don't forget the other Big Law that was just short dicking his old girl on the video.
We can't talk about Gates. You know, Gates like
oh my God.
28 plot. That was the pressure on Saudi ass.
Did you see him slap them cheeks talking about some you well? What?
Why didn't they move though?
Why ain't move?
Making me so mad. So
hey, Mark, you ain't cooking nothing over that, Mark? Hey man.
What you say, bro?
You ain't sipping nothing over there? I know you on that Remy. And I just.
Oh man, come on, man, knock it off, man. You know, I had to bring the MJ out for the last dance, man.
Hey,
I
that
was
look like
on.
a that look like a platinum award, Mark. That look like your
Hey,
drink
yeah, you
that
know,
went You look like Nelly.
hey,
You look like Nelly.
hey. Oh man,
Ooh.
don't do that, man. Who am I battling, Luda?
And I'm
No, I'm
zooming
just
in on.
saying, P. No, I'm
Hey,
just
hey,
saying when
hey,
Nelly
show us that
did this
bottle
with
again,
his
Mark.
shit.
Show us that bottle again, Mark. And I'm gonna zoom in on his bottle, so
Yeah,
don't be alarmed. I ain't.
yeah. This that Anejo, man. That's a Coro, man.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
This
hey,
the
that
move,
bottle.
man. This the
That
move, man.
is
All
that a
right.
Cantil or that's how it come. That's how it come.
That's exactly how it come, man.
Oh, that bitch
Yeah, man.
cold.
Yeah, that is.
Y'all about to make me go get my
Yeah,
damn jacket.
now
Who was like?
that joint smooth though, man. I ain't gonna front.
And sponsored by Remy.
Oh, facts. You
That's
know
a good
that.
sponsor. That's a good sponsor.
We keep the XO at the crib too, man.
50-50, and on Mark.
I'll
Go
jump
ahead.
in and then I'll let Mark finish it. With the 50-50 thing, I just be trying to really understand it. Like, okay, if females want to say like, yeah, we roommates because we going 50-50, you could be paying everything and let you
Mhm.
and your girl get into it or have like a disagreement. Your bitch will put you out on the couch like you a fucking roommate. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? She'll make you go sleep on the couch. You
right.
paying all the bills, the mortgage, the lights, the gas, you cooking in this bitch, and folding thongs around this motherfucker. And you'll still have to sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't see an issue with that because you have to think about how society is set up. It's a lot of women that's making more money than niggas is. You know what I'm saying? So if your girl making more money than you, why should I have to front the whole thing all the time? Can we come to like a common ground, or can we come to some type of median or something? Like, okay, so let's say my girl make more than me, but I'm paying everything. So okay, so if I'm paying everything, does that mean that, bitch, when I need to go to the store and buy some Swishers, are you paying for that? Are you picking up every time we go out to eat? When I want these new pair of Alexander McQueens, are you paying for them? You know what I'm saying? My Giuseppe's, are you buying them? Like, what else are you doing besides me just paying the bills? Or we could go half on things or we could just go half on every single thing. Like if you want to go to the mall and shop, whatever your bill is, I give you half on that. When I go shop, you give me half on that. It's so many different ways that we could do this. But as far as like somebody going 50-50, I don't have an issue with that at all. And I feel like it's really, truth be told, it's them broke bitches that be wanting niggas to pay for every single thing because they don't have a quarter.
Mm.
That's real,
That
Mark.
that's truth be told, because it be
Hey,
women that do have a bag. They don't mind paying for nothing, picking up no tabs, anything. It's done got to the point where a girl will pick a tab up and you better grab your chest and get warm hearted. Like, damn, so you doing
yeah.
that? And it be
Be
and it be
like
love, and it should and
exactly.
it should
That's
and
real.
it shouldn't be like that, bro. So nah, but that's
Yeah.
my part take on
No.
it.
Yeah. That's. I think that was actually really good. Vaughn nailed it from his perspective, and nailed it from a new millennial perspective. Like I think it's all about perspective. It's all about what
Mm.
you want out of your spouse at the end of the day, and that needs to be vocalized at the top front of the relationship. If you want a man and he's telling you, if you want a man to pay for majority of the bills, but that man is saying like, yeah, I don't do that. He's already pretty much showed his hand. And if you bought that hand and you buy into the hand, then you bought into what he like. They're not that type of relationship. So you can't ask for that down the road. And so it's like I think for me personally, like I said earlier, I don't believe in that a man should do all these things because I sat there and watched my grandfather struggle to please my grandmother, and he had 8 kids. You know what I mean? Like, and she didn't do shit. And like, yeah, she took her to the crib, but this man went out 60 hours a week, and then back in the day, you know, they wasn't getting no money, and so it's like, but times have changed, and so it's like there's no in a world where, and then you can also argue like the reason why that was a thing was because at that time women were not getting the wages of what in most cases they still aren't, but for the most part they wasn't even being allowed to work the same job as a man. Now women are more educated, they're paid higher and across the spectrum at least. And so the women that I encounter, they make not as much as me, more than me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at them like if I was to choose to date them and like we go to the bar, those would be the women that Ant would say. Those would be the women that would be like, hey, it's all on me because they've come from similar households where, and I don't want to butcher anything because I haven't done the statistics on this, but I have no doubt in my mind if you go back and look at the dynamics of those households, the domestic violence rates were higher when men pay for everything.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you feel like you
That's a
govern
good point.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a
so
good point.
and so it's like and you know what I mean? And so it's like, and I'm telling you, the women who are bosses now with those type of households, they sat there and watched their father mistreat their woman mothers because shit, I pay for everything. This is my house. You basically just live here. And you talking about the whole roommate conundrum. I don't give no fuck whether it's 50-50 or not. We're roommates regardless. That's just how it is. You can define the definition and no matter how you want to do it, that's what a roommate is. Someone who lives with you.
Yes.
And so it's all about, do you want a roommate? Do you want a roommate that's going to pay with you? Or do you want a roommate that's not? And that's all it is at the end of the day. And so
Because when you
it's
have
like at the
kids,
end of
you
the
already
day,
got a broke ass roommate with you when you got kids.
right? Think about the work from home model now. They're telling you to show your coworkers. Come on now, what? When has this term been? Are we loosely using it? So your kids are your coworkers? Oh well, if that's the case, your wife is your roommate. And so at the end of the day, it's all about how you want your house to be ran. And if that shit isn't discussed at the beginning, then you can't bring that shit up 15 years from now.
That's a fact.
And,
That's a fact.
and can I chime back in on what both of them just said? Mm-hmm. So like with excuse me. So like with Mo, what did he say about the I forgot. Damn. Okay, so I don't want nobody to think I'm slow or nothing, but I got I've been blown up too many times. I was on deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, so things slipped my mind. But to go what Mark was saying,
you good?
It's all about the socio-economic thing too. People don't look at that. So with black women, like how Mark just said, they're more educated. You have to look at the dynamics. Black men are constantly getting locked up. So there's more black women going to college and being educated and furthering themselves. So there's more black women with more money than black men. A lot of people don't look at that. So yeah, if you choose to pick a guy that has less money than you, don't hold that against him. You can't hold that against him. You chose that man. And two, that's what I was going to say about the whole 50-50 thing Mo was saying. So like with me, I've been married, it'd be 15 years this year. Me and my wife, I pay all the bills. But guess what? If I need some gas in my truck, hey, let me get that. She gives me the money for the gas. There's no complaint, there's no bitching, there's no moaning. It just happens. But that comes from her dynamics and my dynamics. She grew up in a house where her father does everything that I'm doing. That was one of the reasons she chose me, because she saw her father taking care of her mother. But her mother had a job. Her mother was working. She works. She has a job. And she do that kickback. And what I was going to say about, that's what I was going to say. I saw both sides.
Wait, Vaughn, 1 second. Because I want you to finish that point. But let me challenge you, though.
Okay.
To that last point. Is there a certain way to take care of a woman without? Is it the only way to take care of a woman is paying for everything?
Have a seat.
No, it is not, because that goes back to what I said earlier. Don't look for that man with that bag. Look for a man that's going to take care of you in other ways. Your emotional needs, your physical needs. That's going to support you. That's going to push you. That's going to teach you things that you don't know. That is what.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
So I seen a post, right. This is around the time. What's the safety name that played for the Seahawks? Now he played for Baltimore. Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a little post that was going around with him and his girl in the picture, and it said, "If I pay all the bills, I could cheat as much as I want. And it is niggas out here that's like that. If a nigga
Yes.
feel like he paying for every look, so let's say you get one of them niggas that's making 200,000-300,000 a year. He's fronting everything, all the bills, daycare. He even giving his bitch a shopping spree.
Mm-hmm.
That's the niggas that be cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then on
So
the
so
flip,
I think that's a
so is that
general
what y'all?
statement, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is and but going back to what he just asked. Oh no, that's what I was about to say. But see, Mark, it goes into that's what I was gonna say. You actually asked the question that led into what I was about to say on the other side. I saw the flip growing up with my grandparents. I grew up with my mother's parents. That was my grandfather busting his ass every day, just like you said your grandfather was. And my grandmother, she just took care of the house. She made sure me and my sister had everything we needed. She made sure the house was taken care of. She made sure my grandfather had everything he needed. On the other side of that, my dad's parents. My grandfather was a police officer. My other grandmother was a nurse. But the dynamic of that home was the same way. It goes back to the man. And like how you were saying earlier about sleeping on the couch, I don't give a fuck if I'm not working and my wife is bringing all the money in. If she get mad at me, I'm not leaving my fucking bed because at the end of the day, I'm still the man of this house, and I'm sleeping in that fucking bed. If you want to get the fuck up and leave, that's on you. But I'm gonna be in that bed. It's all about
Gotta stay in that bed, big fella.
It's all, exactly. It's all about how that man controls his house.
Hey,
But
in real talk though,
when it comes to that man has to know how to check himself when that woman is right
at the door. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
In real talk though, I think like y'all made some great points, but when you really boil everything down, what it really comes down to is there's just one fucking pot of money. I don't care what you make or what I make. Effectively, there's one pot of money.
Yes.
So to say that whether it comes out of whether there's a joint account and separate accounts or whatever the case may be, our finances are tied together as long as we're quote unquote roommates, as long as we're cohabitating. So I just think the whole argument it makes no fucking sense. It's a dumbass argument.
I agree.
It was put into these women by some stupid ass people who are probably single. It's just fucking stupid. It's money. The funny thing is, even when you have a kid with somebody, your finances are still tied to one another, whether you're together or not. Because rest assured, especially if you're the man, if that woman falls short on something, she's gonna hit your line for some extra money. It don't matter if you're on child support or not. She's gonna hit your line to cover up that whatever she's short. So your finances are still tied to one another, no matter what. But when you're cohabitating, it's one pot of money. So 50-50, it doesn't even make it's always 50-50. Everything is 50-50. Whether we're going out to eat, using my card, your card, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the same money.
It's Shawn,
right.
It's Shawn the tag.
Especially,
it's as simple as this. If I ain't got the money and these lights go out, do you want to sit in the dark? I bet your ass gonna pay that bill. Pay the fucking bill.
Hey Vaughn. So look, this is what I think what Shawn raised a very good point. I think at the end of the day, the question is moot. Mm-hmm. And the 50-50 this whole 50-50 conundrum is stupid for one reason and one reason alone. How can we build generational wealth on one income? And so I think if you're talking about building a family with me, I'm gonna need that type of job. I'm gonna need that check too. And so it's like there's no way out of this shit with one income unless you make $1 million. And so it's like, or you know what I mean, of that nature. But like that we live in a generation, well, we live in a society now where that one household income shit doesn't work no more. It barely worked in the past. And so it damn sure don't work now. And so it's like, if I'm just being honest with you, there's no way in the world. I work hard for the money that I have. And I'm not saying here for my move like I'm rich and none of that shit, but I'm very good. And so it's like, there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to sleep in the bed with a woman who doesn't also equally work as hard as I do. I just don't want to. And that's my prerogative, just like it's that woman's prerogative to date a man who wants to pay for everything. And so the problem is though, it's it's more of me than more of that guy. And so,
Right.
which one you want? Because I don't know too many people who want to pay for it all, but I know a lot of men who want a partner that's gonna go crazy with them.
Facts.
And so it's all about what you want at the end of the day. Do you want to come home to what they say Killer Season? You want a Corolla or a Ferrari? Shit, I mean, when I come home at the end of the day, I want to know, like, my girl's a nurse. And so at the end of the day, like, I know she's chasing the bag. And at the end of the day, like, I'm going to ask her, like, man, it was hard. Yes, I know she put in that work. But then when them checks start coming in, shit, we bring out both our checks to the table, and what needs to get paid gets paid. You take money for you when you want to go buy a Louis bag or some shit like that. And I have money for me when I want to go buy a Louis bag or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. That was a really new comment, just for the record.
Boy, you went from Bobby Brown to the Temptations. I love it.
He did.
My boy said prerogative, then he said me. I said, boy.
Hey, look. So this new topic, man, is damn son. Wait. All right.
First Date Chronicles.
Right?
First Date
Chronicles, right? So, what is the worst first date y'all had? Or the best? You can tell.
You can take this, Vaughn. You can start it off. Because I know your shit is fucking crazy.
or you know what? Y'all think about that. Keep that in the back of your brain. We gonna jump to this other one.
Okay.
Wow.
We're gonna jump to this other one. All right. So I'm passionate about this one, right? So I wrote about this one in the book that I ain't released because I was advised that with my aspirations in life, it may not be the best thing to release this book. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it hadn't been released yet. But we're gonna talk about it. Vaughn, I know we had roundtable discussions about this too. So Bust It Open. So the premise of Bust It Open, that chapter deals with the importance of sex in a relationship. How important is sex in a relationship to y'all, and how often do you want it? Let's let Ant go first. You know what I'm saying? Because Ant never goes first with it.
Okay. Repeat the question one more time. How often?
Yeah. So how important is sex in a relationship, and in a perfect world, how often do you want it?
Okay, bet. How important it is on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna say it's probably like a 9, and some change. You feel me? Because if I don't like your ass like that, you feel me? Sex is damn near all we got to really tie our little bond together. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, me personally, I was in a relationship before where I really didn't like this bitch and really couldn't even stand her like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? The box was really like Sunday dinner. You know what I'm saying? That was really the only thing that kept me going for as long as I did. You know what I'm saying? So that's very important. Like you ain't bringing nothing else to the table, but your box is what it is. You know, I might stick around a little longer, and that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So when that shit kind of was gone and dried up, bitch, we ain't got nothing else in store. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to really let this shit go. Now, this is where I have a problem at. Let me go ahead and really get to the nitty gritty with this podcast. Okay, this is the problem that I'm having. Okay, you got female. Can we talk Vogue on here? Okay, you got bitches that have problems.
You haven't already?
Oh, okay, cool. You know when I get off the Remy, bro, I be real slick, but I don't even be knowing if I'm talking hot. But like getting your dick sucked is very, very essential to life. You know what I'm saying? And like I would never be with a woman that don't like to do it. You feel me? You have women that don't like to do it. They just doing it because they know you like it. No, I need you to be sucking this motherfucker because you like to do it. When you do it, I need you to be turned on by this. Your box need to be getting wet. Now, this is the problem that women be having. Okay. I'm a working man. I'm working 6 days a week majority of the time. Now, what I'm saying with that is I don't need my dick sucked 6 days a week. I don't. And females don't be understanding that. If you do this motherfucker crucial enough, let's say you start the week off on a Sunday. If you give me all the way righteous on Sunday, I might not need no top till Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you know what I'm saying, the week continues to keep going. So now you really only offer me like 3 times out the week, and it's 7 days in a week. Females don't be looking at that type of shit neither. So, and then another issue that you have is that I'm not gonna be fucking my bitch every single day. It's 30 days in a month. I'm not cracking your ass 25 times out of 30 days. It's not gonna happen because then when a nigga piping you every single day, all the fucking time, he's gonna get tired of it. And then when he gets tired of it, there you have the problems with cheating and leaving and all this extra shit. So that's why I'm at with it. To answer your questions, Mr. Sean Antonio, um, me personally, I need that shit like maybe 3, 4 times out the week, if that. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 9 and some change. So maybe like $9.17. So that's that.
Let me go next. Let me go next, boy.
Right,
Because
Go
I know
ahead,
you.
Mark,
I
because
know
I'm
you.
done with him. He said,
Hey, this motherfucker. Hey, this motherfucker crazy, bro. Like real talk. Hey, Mo, what you say? You say that Johnson needs to be awesome?
Boy, that Johnson need to be awesome. You hear me?
Oh my God!
Real,
All right, so
real,
look,
real, real awesome.
hey, hey, look, I don't disagree at all. I think sex is important to me for as long as I'm able to do it in the quantity which I'm willing to do it in. And so,
Right.
like, I'm young still, so yes, obviously, sex is important. Like, yeah, I want to have it as much as possible. I mean, it's gonna be because men give out faster than women. So
Bro, our
yeah,
shit
like, I
gonna
mean,
die. Mike F said it, bro. Our
yeah,
pipe gonna die.
on, on my soul,
Pipe
like
gonna
the
die.
drive just gets minimized. Like, you know what I mean, as you get older. And so, like, I get that part. Problem is, um, how often you want it. Like, that's a subjective question. I mean, well, yeah, it's a subjective question in the sense that if I'm single, then I want it whenever I want it. And so it's like I could literally just be like I'm a programmer, so I can literally just be writing code. You know what? I feel like give me some awesome Johnson today. And I'm
Mhm.
single, and I probably got my black book, or I'm a millennial now, so I got my iPhone ready. And so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have some girl come over and go crazy on this motherfucker. But when you in a relationship and you live with your girl, all that shit changes, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, man. I was
Oh,
having a
I
conversation with my boy about this the other day. You think people be so giddy, especially young people, when like, oh man, when I live with my girl, I'm about to get sex all the time. Yeah, that's a lie.
hey no, but
Uh,
but no, that's
and
the
then you're
that's the
not,
truth.
but you're not
You
even
gotta
gonna want
remember,
it, bro. You're not even gonna
you're
want
not.
it all the time, bro. I'm telling you. Think about why you want it. You want it because it's eluded you. And
Uh-huh.
so it's like when you don't live like bro. Remember, I lived in Dallas, bro, and then my girl lived in Chicago. I used to have to fly there, or she would have to fly here. And
Hmm.
so it's like, yeah, when
When
she
that
came
shit
to
is
the
sitting in the
crib,
house,
bro,
when
like,
that shit,
yeah,
hey,
it was
breaking
it
it
was
down.
cracking,
But
but
when that shit sitting in the
but
house with you,
it was
it don't
cracking.
it
Like, it
don't
was
be
like,
that.
cause she's not gonna be here that long. But it's like when you live with someone for a short period of time, and Vaughn would be a very good person to attest to this. But it's like when you live with someone, I've only lived with my girl for about 2 years, and it's like, like, yeah, I do still find her very much attractive. Like, shorty bad, like my chick bad, but it's not like it's always that. Yeah, I can get it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
try again
yeah.
tomorrow. It's like it's not. But it's hard to explain, but that's just the ugly truth.
You don't want to
Go
hit.
ahead,
You don't
Vaughn.
want to hit. You don't want to hit that shit all the time. I understand, bro. I I,
all right.
I understand,
Vaughn, what
bro.
you got for us?
All right. So I'm gonna take the glasses off of this.
He put the
Oh,
glass off.
Yeah, man,
it's
because
gonna get
He got,
I got a
serious.
problem, right? That shit's
he
very
somebody got a problem.
that shit's very important to me. I need it at least twice a day. 41 years old. I'm still going like I'm motherfucking 17. And once it die out, then guess what? I might chance it getting a stroke and popping one of them blue pills. But dig
Hmm.
this here.
That's how I want to die.
So my wife knows. Look here, you gotta come up off of that. She might be tired of it sometimes, but I ain't. But when it's for me, that's one of the main things. You gotta give me that. It don't matter if it's fucking 2:45 a.m. and you just went to sleep and you ain't slept in 4 days. I'm ready. You gotta go. Now, I do have consideration for those times when I know she been grinding and she tired. So I go pull out old Palmyra and we do what we do. But dig this here, man. You guys to come off that ass.
I won't. We can just real easy way.
But this is the thing. That shit's a two-way.
What you pull out? What you pull out, G? What you pull out again?
And guess what? Sometimes I get frisky and I cheat. I use the other hand.
Little change speed.
Oh my god, bro!
Little change in the grip, little change in the speed.
Hey, Mark, he whooping that motherfucker.
Hey man.
Hey, he ambidextrous.
But see, this is the thing. We've been together 17 years. March made 17 years we've been together. And you swear we just fucking met. Because we fuck like rabbits. And I fucking love that woman for that because she know that there's this thing called your love language. That is part of my love language. I need to be fucked. That is part of my love language. Hers, it's just me and her sitting. We could be sitting in a fucking box together and just sitting there talking. That's what she wants. So I do it. She know I need that ass, so she gives it up. There's been times when she's been sick, and I'll be like, God damn, we ain't fucked. I need to make this happen. And she not be feeling good. You know what she do? Just come on. All right, cool.
Do you use your mask?
Huh? What'd you say?
You put your mask on? You put your mask on?
We ain't gonna talk about all the kinks and shit, man. We ain't gonna talk about all that. I ain't gonna let all. Hey man, all I'm gonna say is this: it's a bag of tricks in there, and that's the other thing. You have to keep the shit fresh.
I can't.
That's part of what has been our success. We've kept shit fresh.
Hey, you know what? So, all right. So I think the context matters, right? So one of the most important things a woman can do is know her nigga. You got to know the nigga you're dealing with. So I'll just, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak nobody else's story. Speak my story. So I started when I was 14. So I got a late start compared to today.
Yeah.
And by the time I left high school, I was over 30. You know what I'm saying? I was over 30 in terms of body.
I wouldn't say you got a late start.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But, in terms of today, they started at 11, 12. You know what I mean? So, I left high school with 30 something. You know what I'm saying? And then college was just exponentially more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on the person that you're dealing with. For me, it's a 10 out of 10 because like I'm like Vaughn. It's funny though. I wonder. It ain't even a function of my age. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been like this. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to, you know what I'm saying, when you gotta, you know what I'm saying, do it yourself. Shit, it's a 2 or 3 a day quota. You know what I'm saying? So some motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, your motive is higher than other people's. You know what I'm saying? So for me, hey, you gotta bust that motherfucker open for a real nigga. You feel me? Like, man, I'm talking every day. You feel me? Like I'm under that act. But see the caveat, once again, you gotta know the nigga you're dealing with. I need my pussy fresh off the motherfucking line. You know what I'm saying? You gotta jump in that shower. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm getting that motherfucker in the daytime before you go to work or at nighttime, whatever. I need that. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, it's like shit, you can bust open both times. Like, I mean, shit, life is short. I don't know how many days we got left.
Man.
I need to train this motherfucker while I'm here. You feel me?
And you know what? And Shawn,
yeah, but it all depends though. I think you gotta know the person you're dealing with.
Mark
You know
said.
what I'm saying? You gotta know the motherfucker you're dealing with. If that motherfucker wanted that day and you signed up for that, then shit.
Yep.
You gotta tap me in that day. I don't care if you just laying there.
Yeah.
Bust that motherfucker open and lay there.
And I'm gonna go back and touch on something that Mark said. Mark said that like when you together like all the time, you know that you can get it tomorrow. That's true. But at the same time, like with us, it comes into that just I don't know about y'all, but like okay, so I'm gonna be real and put everything out there. I've cheated. And with me cheating, it went to those days where I wasn't getting any because my pimping was thinking and I got caught. And she didn't have that physical attraction to me because of that. Because in the words of Beyonce, you gave that bitch half of me when she ain't even half of me.
True.
And the shit was real. And I had to look at some of the moves I made, like, Mo. And I was like, all right, I understand it. So I couldn't be upset at her. I just had to, go break out my girls, righty and lefty. And I had to fucking deal with it. But with me and her, this is one of the things I can honestly say. Even if she's faking the funk, that woman don't act like she's not attracted to me and makes me feel wanted. And that just makes me want her even more. Because I always want her. Because every time I look at her, I be like, God damn. It don't matter. Like, she gained a couple of pounds. She didn't like it. I liked it. The only thing I saw was them thighs is thicker. That ass looked a little bit more pumped up. Yeah. Let me see what that do. I already know what it do, but I need to see what it do now. She lost weight.
Exactly.
Got back toned and tight the way she used to be. And I was like, yeah, now you back to where you was when you was 17. Let me see what that do. It's all about that attraction.
You got a problem, man.
It's all about that attraction to your mate. And then, like you said, it's subjective. It's all about whatever your sex drive is. Because like me, I ain't gonna lie. I go to my dick hurt. All right, my dick hurt. I'm done. I see you in the morning. Or I see you in a couple of hours. But my dick hurt. I'm done. And that's just what it is, man. It's like Mark said, it's subjective. It's to each individual couple or each individual person. Like there's some people that's single and they'll just go out and fuck everybody just because they can. And I speak that from experience. From high school through college up until me and her got together. Man, if it had a vagina, it was getting tapped. Look here, 18 to 80,
motherfucking crazy.
Motherfucking 110 to 215, because I got weight limits. I'm sorry if you body shamed or feel bad, but I have weight limits. That's my personal preference. If I was going.
I think what you said was very interesting. And then I'll give it back to Shawn. In terms of the love language thing, I think I agree with that to a certain degree. But if we're talking about it, I think knowing your partner is essential, especially when you live with them for a certain amount of period of time. You may be married or just, you know what I mean, just roommating, if that's what you want to call it, whatever the case may be. I do think that like when it comes to knowing your partner, knowing what turns them on, that person has already shown you what they were interested in when you first met them. Like when you first started talking to a person, like I've already put you on game what I like. Like remember those long ass, pointless ass, but they really wasn't so pointless now that you really think about it, 12-hour conversation that you used to have in the middle of the night. I pretty much gave you my game plan. Like basically, like you know what I mean? Like these are the type of things that I like. And it's up to that woman to sort of like they like listening so much. Did they listen? You know what I mean? Like I pretty much I kind of like walked you down this hallway. And so it's like I told you I like the low shorts, you walking around the crib and wearing and shit like that. And like, you know what I mean? I could be working and I could be on a conference call. I don't get no fuck, man. You come around this motherfucking desk and grab this motherfucker. Like, shit, I'm telling you, I'm a professional with this. And so it's like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, because like, I think at times, like going back to Vaughn's point, and I'm glad Vaughn isn't like that. But at times, a lot of men sort of become sort of like they defer to the woman. You know what I mean? And to a sense, like I want to see what you do now. Like I kind of like did all the chasing in the beginning. I kind of want to see what you do now. And I'm one of those guys. Like I want to see, like you know what I mean. I know how my sex drive is. I know how you know what I mean. How kinky I am. I'm a savage, man. You know what I mean. No Megan Stallion intended. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like I still want that sporadic moment. You know what I mean? I still want to be able to walk in the house And you know what I mean? Shit, obviously I work from home, but you know, when I'm traveling and shit like that, when I come home from a long day and you don't come grab me from the airport and I have to take an Uber, I'm frustrated because I have to take an Uber. Let's start there. So that motherfucker better be ready when I get. But hey, that's another story. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like it just be the random moments that sort of like turn me on, and I think that's when sex becomes very important to me.
You know what's funny about what you said? So I'm like that too. So it's like you want to feel like it's times when I go to Chicago and I'm there for 3 weeks to a month at a time. You know what I'm saying? And handling business with the store and all that shit. And you want to feel like, you know, you coming home to something or a person can't wait to see you in general, just generally speaking. You want to feel like as a man, for some reason, this goes back to the misconceptions about men. You want to feel like that person can't wait to see you and can't wait to get their hands on you.
There go with them feelings. There you go with them feelings, Shawn.
Yeah, real talk. You're right, bro. We still want to be desired too. That's a huge misconception. That's why when you said that, and when you said that, bro, I was like, man, like I can identify with that because we still want to be desired too.
Yeah,
it's true.
Exactly.
And y'all just hit it on the head because I'm not gonna lie, it be some mornings I wake up like I know what she wants to do, and I could be laying there and she'll touch me a certain way, and I'll be like, oh, I know what this is.
Yep.
It make you feel
Mr. Nasty time.
It make you feel good. You damn right. Hey, don't touch
and look, and think about it. Once again, all of this goes back to knowing the person that you're dealing with. Because we're people like with our college experience, with our Greek experiences, we're used to being desired. We used to be in the club and you know, whether you call it party stepping or strolling, we used to a chick grabbing our dick and trying to pull us out of the line, you know what I'm saying? And can't wait to get you home after the motherfucking frat party or the event. You know what I'm saying? We used to being chased and desired too. So it's not saying you got to do that all the time, but you dealing with a nigga who is used to being chased. You got to chase too. You can't sit back and wait to be chased because now we're gonna be playing chicken. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sit back and be like, shit, I'm gonna stroke the skin off this motherfucker before I chase you all the time.
Yep. Shout out to Spring 13 Marketing Line because them boys got me a lot of the skins. You hear me? A lot of the skins.
And it go and like you just said, Shawn. But to go along with what you just said, it's a difference between being desired by a random and being desired by the one that you want to desire. That makes a huge fucking difference. Because I could walk outside with like it's shade now, but I could walk outside with the motherfucking George Jefferson or the James Evans, and it's 15 chicks that might want to holler at me. But I don't want you. I want that one in the house to want me. And there's a difference between the random desiring you and the one you want to desiring you.
Let me ask y'all this, right? So look, we can assume that all of us have cheated at some point in life. You know what I'm saying? Does it make a difference now? You know what I'm saying? Does it make a difference? Like if your girl is doing everything she can, she busting that motherfucker open. You know what I'm saying? She fucking you the way you need to be fucked and all that. You know what I'm saying? The awesome jossom is 10 out of 10. Is that a deterrent, or does that make it less likely that you'll cheat?
I'll let one of them go, and I'm gonna answer.
I think. Okay,
I'll start. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead, Aaron. Sure.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna have much to say, cause you know I ain't just been in 1,001 relationships, but I will say like I feel like if you cheat, your chick is falling short of something, and you might not want to admit it. You feel me? But she falling short of something. See, me personally, I started cheating because I feel like I wasn't getting enough throat. You feel me? On the regular, like I was the one going to work. Hey, I'm being 1,000. You feel me? I wasn't getting enough throat. You feel me? I'm the one that's waking up every day.
You wasn't getting enough. Hey, can you define throat for the people who not from the crib?
Okay, throat is a woman's esophagus. You feel me?
Hey man,
you got a problem, man.
And it's DL Hewley, motherfucking
no,
DL Hewley and the brother.
Okay, but look.
All I just heard from Ant was, yes, I would suck your dick with a little league fucking chest protector with a Viking helmet on.
And he got a problem, bro.
Hey, so okay, so look, this was literal day. So I'm staying with my girl. I'm the only one that's working right now. She ain't got no job. So I'm waking up, driving an hour to work with these racist ass white people, drive an hour home. You feel me? So in between all this, why in the fuck am I not waking up to some throat? You feel me? Why am I not waking up to some throat? You feel me? So I'm not waking up to no throat, but then I'm coming in the house listening to you fucking nag about absolutely nothing, about some shit that don't matter. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go fuck with me a bitch that don't nag and she throat and shit. So that's me. Y'all got the ball.
Hey, first of all, look, this guy's a problem. Right, let's start there. Like I tell him, like, his office man, I don't know what's going on there. But no, hey, man, I mean, would it be nice to wake up to some awesome job? Absolutely. That's just how I get up. And so it's like, shit, I could be sleep all day, shit. You come do this motherfucker right. Hey, shit, what you want, bacon? Hey, I think here's the problem with when it comes to me, because I have already stressed that sex isn't as important to me over time. What's more important that won't allow me to cheat is a person that understands what I'm trying to do. And what I mean, what I'm trying to do is if I got a woman in my corner and I have already sort of like vocalized thoroughly what it is that I want from us, and she understands that wholeheartedly, man, it's hard to find that chick. I don't give a fuck about sex. I can go find that shit anywhere. Mm-hmm. Man, to find a chick to travel with, chase the bag with, that shit is difficult. Mm-hmm. And so, like, if I find that chick, and I think I have, shit, my girl could be drenched in fucking Louis and Gucci and shit. We can have sex in the fucking ocean. Or the fucking, you know what I mean? What is that, the Indian? I don't know if I forgot. But, like, that shit don't really impress me. Impress is like, man, shit, hey, Mark, shit, yeah, I just made $250,000. Oh, that's it? Oh, shit, I just made $350,000. Cool, well, then she give me $50,000, now we even.
See, you know what, Mark?
That shit is what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, it's going to be very different from that shit, because that is what you're trying to build. Go ahead.
That opens up a whole nother can. That opens up a whole nother can of worms right there. And I know we got, we on one topic, but that opens up a whole nother can of worms, because you do have niggas where they want to be with the baddest bitch. You want to be with some niggas want to be with a girl where everybody see her, she a showstopper, she a fake ass Instagram model. Everybody see her, they say this bitch is a 10, but truth be told, just because she a 10 with looks, this bitch ain't never had a real job, ain't got no resume. She don't know how to chase the bag, like you said. She don't know how to travel, like you said. She can't she don't know how to make dishwater to wash the dishes. The bitch can't even boil water to make some oatmeal. You know what I'm saying?
So right. Yeah.
You do have them cases. So when you touched on that point, bro, you hit a nerve.
And that's
that's what I care more about. I ain't gonna lie to you. And Vaughn, I'll give it to you. Just let me just say this last point.
No, go ahead.
The topic obviously is how important is sex, and I can't stress this enough. Yes, I mean, good sex is good sex. It's hard to turn down. My sex drive isn't as high as Vaughn's. My sex drive, you know what I mean, isn't as high as anyone on this podcast. I mean, yes, I still get my fair share. But at this point, I ain't gonna lie to you, in my life, I'm 30 years old, and I'm this close. This is what I care about the most. And if I can, like I'm telling, like I think I have a chick that's gonna match that drive to chase the bag. That shit is the most important thing to me right now. Is getting that bag, creating access for my son, so that he can create access for his future son or daughter. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I don't give no fuck if I have sex for the rest of my life. If I change the culture of my family, generational wise,
gang shit. Say that.
Real shit. That's real shit.
Hey, but real talk, you know what? We gonna break off of this current topic just on that note, man.
Hold on. Let me say something.
Say that, Mark. Say that.
I'm a change the whole thing. Cheating.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take you in a whole nother direction with the cheating. So if my
Go ahead.
wife is doing everything sexually that I want, yes, that is a deterrent for me to not put my dick in somebody else. But here's the thing: cheating just doesn't have to involve sex.
Mm-hmm.
It can also be
Oh,
an emotional
yeah.
thing. If I don't feel I can go and talk to my wife about certain things and not get judgment or honest opinion, I can easily go and have that conversation with someone else, which does what? Emotionally draws you closer to that person, which may lead to what? You putting your dick in them. You have to be able to have that intellectual and that emotional compassion and love from home in order not to be able to cheat. It's not just about sex. It's about different layers to that shit. Because anybody, you can just easily go out and you can see you can see the baddest fucking stripper in the world, and if she say, I'm
Exactly.
about to fuck you, then you gonna go fuck. But if I'm getting everything at home physically, but I can't talk to my wife about my toe hurting, I'm just using something simple. Then
Facts.
I don't.
Facts.
Then I'm gonna go talk to somebody about my toe hurting. And next thing you
The
know, now,
stripper.
oh man, she was there for me when I needed her. When I wanted to talk about how my body was hurting, she was there. As to where my girl or my wife or my roommate, as we've been saying, didn't want to talk to me about it. So why should I talk to you about anything else? And that's
Hey,
what I say. It goes to a whole nother thing. And women, going back to the misconception, Shawn, women think that men don't have those types of feelings, but we do.
shit, we do. We do. And see, you was just opening up a whole nother can of worms, Vaughn, because that's just the shit I was gonna say. Like, look at Power. You got all these different seasons of Power. Everybody watch it on TV, watch it every time the new episode come out. But people take what they can from it. You know what I took from all the season was the fact that okay, um, Shorty, what's his name? Ghost wife. She liked him for him selling drugs. You feel me? But when he
Tasha.
wanted to stop, okay, yeah, Tasha. When he wanted to stop selling drugs and get into the club shit to flip his money, that started to become his dream. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't believe his dream no more. She didn't
Yep.
she didn't believe in his dream. And that be a big thing right there. You'll have
Yep.
bitches that like you for the old you, or they'll like you for some other shit, but they don't want to
Yeah.
believe in your
Or your
dream. And when a
reputation
female,
or whatever. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
when a female don't want to believe in your dream, that just throws everything in the fucking water. So you just opened up another can of worms
Yeah.
with that one. You feel me? Bitches don't be believing in niggas' dreams.
You know what's crazy, man, is man, that just struck a nerve with me. Like, I'm real big on that because I'm a nigga, y'all know me, so I'm a nigga who always got, you gonna hear me talk about a million different visions and a million different businesses and all that. And I wholeheartedly believe that each one of them can work. You know what I'm saying? With the
Facts.
right team and
I'm
the
the
right
I'm the I'm
people.
the same way.
Real
The
talk.
same
You
way.
know what I'm saying?
I will wake up with another idea.
Real talk. And
Yep.
so that's big for me. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It may not be your dream. God didn't give it to you. It's mine. So I just need you to be supportive. You know what I'm saying? On that demonstration. That's really all I need. Um, Damn, but y'all was talking about something that I wanted to tap into. Damn, y'all had a real good point on some shit that I fuck.
Mark was talking about generational wealth.
Generational wealth. Right. So that's another thing, man. Generational wealth. Like what was y'all's family situation growing up? You know what I'm saying? Financially. Like what did y'all come from?
You knew mine, Shawn. You knew one.
I know yours, but the people don't know yours. So whoever want to go first.
I don't know. Me personally, like I've gotten mad as of late because I watched it with my mama, and I watched it with my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. It's just like you have the older generation. My mom was born in the 50s, so you have an older generation where that's what was taught to them. Society say, go to high school, go to college, get you a job, pay your loans off, work, retire, and die off your retirement. You know what I'm saying? And real talk, I love my OG to death. My brother-in-law, not so much. You feel me? But that's all that be on their mind frame. Like my brother-in-law is thirsty to hold the phone up, get on Snap, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, I'm living a retired life, smoking a cigar, drinking, while my sister's still out there on the CTA bus driving and shit. You feel me? That shit is so clowned out to me, opposed to not even my sister's era. It's people in my sister's era, cause Shawn, you in my sister's era, but like people so much like me. My sister is in between. Me, fuck work until you retire. What the fuck is we gonna do right now to make sure that we pay, my kids is paid, my grandkids is paid, my great grandkids is paid afterwards? Is we finna get 100 fucking properties, real estate properties, to make sure everybody is straight? You feel me? We finna start trading, Forex trade. Like, you feel me? Stocks. What all are we finna do to make sure that we can break the generational curse of let's just work till we retire? You feel me? Because I love my people to death, but that crib on Laughlin, you got to do the math on it. I don't own a house, but I know when you get a crib, it's you probably do like a 30-year bid on a mortgage. I will be 30 in July. Why in the hell we don't own our house on Laughlin yet? I want to break shit like that. I looked that crib up on the internet. I ain't gonna talk about the price, but just know where I don't know what none of us make on this phone. Just what would I make? But us four on this phone, we could buy that house. You feel me? Now. So why is niggas still paying a mortgage on it? That's the shit that I want to break. So that's my point.
So with me, I grew up watching like I said, I watched my grandfather that I lived with bust his ass working at Campbell Soup. And I never forget, because they had a whole party, like 85, 86. They paid their house off, owned the house. Boom. In 1988, Campbell Soup decided to pick up and move to Virginia. And he was out of a job. Luckily, he'd been there long enough to where they offered him a retirement. He got his retirement. So I grew up in a lower middle class to middle class home. In the hood, though, because I still grew up in Roseland. But the house I came from, we would put it like this. I always had what I needed. May not have got everything I wanted, but I always had what I needed. On the flip side of that, I had my other grandparents and my dad that were upper middle class, busting their asses. My grandfather was a police officer. My grandmother was a nurse. My dad was making good money working at steel mills, and then he became a custodian or janitor, whichever one you want to use, at the American Library, still making good money. And like, so I grew up having pretty much anything I wanted between those two households. But the thing is, it took two households to make that happen, not just one. So those are my background. And so like now what I'm doing, like, because my cousin Akari, he's better at all this stuff than I am. I had Akari start investing for my kids when they was like 8. And I've made them learn what that investing is and how they get their money. And like now, I don't know what they stocks are worth, because I haven't talked to Akari about it in a minute, because we always just talk about other stuff. But whenever we go into Walgreens, I always make them tell people thank you, because them people are the reason why you're getting money. Like now, we going through all of this stuff, Walgreens and WWE, because I know my son has WWE stock. Both dished out checks. Here, take these checks. We're gonna cut you these dividend checks. And like Mark and Ant was both saying, we have to do something to change the generational thing. And like how Ant was talking about how his brother-in-law is sitting there. I'm retired from the Army. My wife busting her ass, still working. But you know what? My ass is out here doing Postmates, Instacart, Amazon.
And see, I fuck with that, Vaughn. I fuck with that.
everything else to still make sure she don't pretty much have to do anything. Because and going back to what we was talking about earlier about the whole providing thing, her money is her money. I don't ask her for her money unless hey, look here, I need some squares. Give me $10. Or it's like, hey, this has always been ideal. You take care of the house, and if we gonna go on some trips or something, you plan those trips and you pay for them. I'm gonna make sure we're good everywhere else. In the times where I fell short, she's been there to pick that up, and I love the fact that my kids see it. But at the same time, I preach for them, and I teach that. I tell them always, go harder. You gotta. I'm trying to set it up. My kids have nothing to worry about. They literally have nothing to worry about. But what I want them to understand is, you have to do this for your kids, so that their kids can have something, and then the kids down. In the word, it goes back to the whole thing that Jay-Z was saying on that OJ story, when he was talking about the when he paid, what is it, 2 million, paid went for 2 million, 4 million to 8 million, and whatever the fuck he said, because I got a little buzz, but that shit's real. And if we don't see that as a people,
wasn't the OJ story though.
We don't see that as a people, that's where we're failing. Everybody's worried about being rich.
That's you don't know.
And flossing, like he said earlier, flossing for the fucking gram and everything else. That's not what's real. Fuck my life. I don't care what I have. I walk around, look here. If I wanted to right now, I can get up and go buy a fucking $1,000 suit, motherfucking $2,000 shoes, and whatever the fuck I wanted to, and be perfectly okay with just me having this. I walk around dressed like a fucking hobo all the goddamn time. I work on cars. I got 37 different fucking hustles because I'm busting my ass to make sure that everybody else is good. But my whole thing is this: I'm building for y'all as I'm killing myself doing it, and I don't care about it because it's not about me. It's about 9 generations later sitting up looking fine. Because guess what? The Rockefeller started in the early 1900s, and you look at them now. I bet all of them got money.
Facts.
Mark, you wanted to tap
in? Yeah. I'm gonna first start with the point with the Rockefellers. Hey, they're white. Yeah, it's hard to compare. Like, I mean, I think like, I ain't gonna lie to you. In my lifetime, and for the rest of the lifetime, and hopefully for some of my son's lifetime, I'd be happy to see a black prominent family like the Rockefellers. That would be something to be nice. That'd be something to be said about black people. But unfortunately, I don't think.
Or the Chase family. JP Morgan.
No. My whole point in that, Mark, was why shouldn't 8 generations from now the Phillips family is comfortable?
Oh no, I'm not knocking that. I'm saying
because, like you said,
I'm not knocking it, bro. Like, I want that to happen. I don't want you to leave here today thinking that I didn't want it to happen. I'm saying is.
No, my thing was saying that, Marcus. I know, like you said, they're white. That's a whole different fucking thing. It only takes for us to fucking have one mistake and all that's gone. But no, I was just saying, like, be comfortable. Not have to worry about where you're gonna live. Not have to worry about a mortgage or worry about whatever. Worry about money.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. I know we'll never be just living off of fucking oil money.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, they built organizations to sort of like steer into that direction, and Shawn could possibly speak more to this with the Jack and Jill Society. Like, I mean, like, this is basically their foundation. Like, you know what I mean? This is what they've been trying to do since their origin. But that's neither nor there. I'm not Jack and Jill. I'm just JD and Alpha. And so, here's the thing though. But the reason why I throw GD in there is because people don't really understand what the transcendence of GD. That growth and development shit is huge.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like, that's why I to still say I'm GD. Like, I be in press conferences like for my companies. I'm saying, like, yeah, I'm GD. They're like, man, you like, what is that growth and development? What is that? Like, where does that stem from? Because that's a part of my narrative. That's a part of my journey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything that I come from from the low end to which is the project,
And I'm glad you
to
still
a
speak
bigger
that.
project of
I'm glad
Inglewood.
you still speak that to them big motherfuckers too. I'm glad you do.
Yeah,
We
see,
need, we
man,
need
look,
more like you.
I don't see a reason to change who I am, and this is why I conform to a lot of that capitalistic behavior. I don't like offices. I don't like being around white people like that, which is why I work from home. If I have to have a job where I have to go into the office every day to have those pointless ass conversations on the side about shit that I know I can relate to, I can't be a part of it. I'm blessed to be in the situation I am, and you know what I mean. I'd be the first to admit it. But getting back on topic,
okay, hold on. And hold on, Mark. And with that, Shawn, I'm gonna help you out, Mark. I'm gonna help you out right here a little bit because I'm always thinking of shit like this. Shawn, I need you to edit that
I'm gonna
part.
pull up in the meantime.
I know what you're talking about the white people. Yeah, I got you.
Because it's as simple as this. They'll try and use that shit because this is gonna be broadcasted somewhere, and they'll try and use that shit against you.
I'm on
It'll be
top of
every
it.
motherfucker that see it. And I'm gonna tell you right here, I understand that whole truth because I lived that shit for 8 years in the army, being around motherfuckers.
The part about not being around white people, we gonna edit that, but we good to go.
Yeah.
So Mark, we gonna tap back in with you, Mark.
I'll forget that shit. So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, I'm gonna talk freely, and then we go over it during the editing portion. And so it's like, I think that too many times we've been asked to do something that we haven't been taught.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk you through this if you bear with me. Shawn, you know where I come from, and you know where I come from. I grew up not too, or you know what I mean, like outside of the project area. I grew up not too far from where Aunt grew up at. And so our neighborhood is considered Inglewood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Inglewood, and you know what I mean, like you know, Ron, you know this too, of course. But like Inglewood area is a very detrimental area. You know what I mean? Where you know you got people like Dead Rose coming out of the joint. You know what I mean? Like successful people like him that bill to sort of get to get theirs, if you will. Now, me and Ant came from those type of same neighborhoods. Ant came, you know what I mean, Shawn, I'm pretty sure you come from similar neighborhoods. Neighborhoods don't really change.
Mm-hmm.
The behavior is the same in a lot of these type of neighborhoods. They just call different neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have the recipe. I get asked every day, like, you know what I mean? Like kids and all this goof ass shit. And I always pay homage to Shawn and Antar because I didn't even think. I mean, I knew I had the intelligence to get to college, but I didn't even get no fuck about college, man. I was getting right to it at my job, and I was doing some shit I can't speak because the fans watching. And so, and so it's like,
and we was all,
there was no reason for me to go to college.
We was all like that. We was all like that. Cause
exactly.
I was like that too.
So like,
that's why look, bro, real talk on Chief. When we got
so you got like I didn't have a father figure like that. So
that's why when niggas got the gremlin, like I know me personally, shit.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking at the fucking Greeks, not like that. You feel me? Shawn was just a real nigga outside of Alpha. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Shawn was associated with Alpha, that really didn't matter.
Right.
You feel me? Shawn was just a real nigga, regardless to the fact. But like, I came to Gremlin. I didn't even know I was coming to Gremlin. I didn't know shit about no goddamn Greeks. You feel me? Like, what is that? All we know is GD, Blackstone, BDs, Lords. That you know what I'm saying? We know
Those
shit
were
like
our
that.
Right.
Yeah, them non-Greek. You feel me? And this is the shit that started way back in time, and they started with good morals too. So you know what I'm saying? If drugs and all that wasn't involved, the gangs would be like fraternities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I get where you coming from with that, Shawn. I mean, not Shawn, Mark, for sure. Like I ain't know nothing about
and so
none of that.
And so you pay homage to those individuals that sort of like taught you, and kind of like my theme is about teaching, and so like I didn't know how to do a lot of shit. Like even when I got to college, I didn't know how to apply for internships. I didn't know how to do all that stuff, and then so I had to once I like I'm telling you like on my soul. It was to my boy Darren, and know this story. We were sitting in class, and Dr. Davis class. I think I had just took a year off, and I came back, and we all had took what was the intro to social, right? Intro to sociology, and
Yep.
so yeah, Dr. Davis class, and Dr. Davis was highlighting Darren, and Darren is one of my best friends to this day. He was highlighting his experience at his internship at Ohio State. And no disrespect to Darren, I've talked to Darren all we laugh and joke at this point. But I sat there in the back and Darren talking about, yeah, I went to Ohio State. They gave me like 5 bands to come do some research shit. And I don't know Darren from a branch nor a tree, but I'm so GD. And I'm in the back. Me and Edna, we laughing and joking and shit in the back, but I'm looking at my head like I know I'm better than this nigga.
Mark
You know what I mean?
applied.
Why can't I go get
Mark
that?
applied it. Mark put pressure.
Like you,
Mark put pressure
like
right
that's
out.
what I'm saying. And so it was like, how can I swear to God on my soul, I sat there and I pulled Darren to the side and said, how did you do it? How? Teach me how you did that.
And that's how,
Darren
and
gave
that's
me
how,
the recipe. I went to Dr. Davis to perfect it, and I've been getting money ever since.
and that's
And
that's
so it's
how
like,
we that's
like
how we be needing, bro. I feel like a lot of us as black people in the low income societies, us minorities, that's really all we be needing sometimes. Is like, okay, I don't need you to learn. I don't need you to like. I don't need you to teach me how to learn 2 + 2 is 4. But please give me the directions on what you did to make 100,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Or to get this internship. Or what did you do to get into the frat? Like not on no extra shit. Like what type of qualifications? Show me the way so I can blueprint it and follow you. Sometimes
And,
that's all that be needed.
and I'm gonna chime in on exactly what you just
yeah,
said. That is definitely true. And you know where a lot of us fail at? A lot of us can't check our egos at the door.
Man,
If
said.
you can check, look
oh
here,
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, you can talk to anybody I was in the army with. And them motherfuckers, oh man, Dr. Phillips is such a great guy, man. He's so humble, blah blah. I never want credit for anything. Like right now, like I want to join Trinity Church. But for the fact that they want you to walk down in front of the altar in front of every fucking body, I refuse to join. Everybody don't need to know I'm a part of this church. Just let me join. I'm just here to worship. I don't want everybody's appraisal or approval. Look here, I just want to be a part of this church.
right.
But a lot of us can't just check our fucking egos and be like, hey, Aunt, I see you doing this and this. How can I do that? Because we've had this whole thing butchered into us that you're weaker if you ask for help, and you're not. Because guess what? Like he was saying earlier about the whole Jack and Jill thing. White people have all these fucking societies set up to where all these little organizations and everything. Oh yeah, well, you know what? Perfect example. Rob Kardashian, OJ's lawyer. How many times do you think Rob went to OJ and was like, hey, I see that this motherfucking athlete's in trouble. You think you could throw a suggestion that way for me to be his lawyer? No fucking problem. As to where me, I'm a lawyer, and I know you played football for years, and I see that motherfucking Michael Jordan in a little trouble. You think you can throw me as a suggestion that way? I'm not gonna do that because it's been put into us that you're weak. No, fuck that. Go get that bag.
On my soul. And so it's sort of like it repositions me to and how I treat my son. And you know what I mean? And it's like I took my son recently before the pandemic. I'm blessed to say that I was able to take him on a spring break trip. Every year I try to do something different for him. As he get older, you know what I mean, it'll only get better. But this year we went on the East Coast. We did the East Coast trip last year. We did a West Coast trip. And what that really means is we started from the bottom of the West Coast last year and then did a road trip. Drove from starting in San Diego, went to LA, Santa Barbara, San Juan, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Up all the way up to like San Francisco. And I was just basically walking him through, you know what I mean? Like different things about California. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like he was born in California. I wasn't. but I had lived there and I had sort of ventured off. I wanted to show him things that I was blessed to show him. This is what I wanted to always show a child that I would have. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that daddy did. Like, I went to wineries and I went to things like that. We got a chance to see my boy at Stanford defend his dissertation. Black man at Stanford? You know what I mean? Like, defend his dissertation. Like, stuff like, oh, we get to Harvard. Like, we went to Harvard this year and we saw my boy defend a paper. And so it's like stuff like that. Like, outside of the HBCUs, yes, I will always take him there. We went to Howard, you know what I mean? Like, he's been to Grammar, of course, that's where I graduated from. But I want to show him, like, yo, black people go here too. You know what I mean? Like, this, like, if you could get into these schools, why not? Don't let people tell you, oh, you got to go to HBCUs, you got to do this. And it's not to discredit HBCUs. You know what I mean? It's like, it's basically just show him options.
I feel it.
It's just basically options. It's just all options. And so when we talk about generational wealth, and like me and Shawn, we talk about this all the time with Taylor. And you can edit that. I don't know if you want people to know your daughter's name, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we go back, me and Shawn, we both got one child apiece. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we don't know if we'll have more, but as of right now, we got one child apiece. And our diligence is to get that child in a better situation than we were. And as of right now, we are Father of the Year, contrary to popular belief. Because my son didn't have to go up in the projects and all that shit. You know what I mean? My son didn't have to, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, like, I saw one of my best friends get killed when I was in fucking 4th grade. Like, I don't want my son to call my phone and say he saw that. You know what I mean? And I know neighborhoods are different from city to city, but I just don't want him to have to do that. And when we talk about generational wealth, I have, you know what I mean? This is a flex moment, by the way. You know, shout out to Kobe, Black Mama mentality. I have 5 degrees. You know what I mean? Like, I went to Ivy League school. I worked my shift, and my son has seen every school that I went to. I want him to see that this is what dad went. It's possible. You know what I mean? And not only that, you don't have to go to these schools. You go to similar schools.
And it's funny you said that. So when I
you know what I mean? It's how long you want to.
When I got home from the army, I went back to school.
Hold on, Vaughn. Vaughn, let me just wrap up this last point. I'm sorry. I'm really close. And I give it to you. It's like, exposure was something that I've never had until I met Shawn, Antor, Ms. Georgette, you know what I mean, Doc, all of those people. And then I took that, went to college, I activated the exposure, went to college, and then got exposed by a whole nother group of people. Activated that, took that, went somewhere else, and got exposed to a whole nother group of people. And so I think the theme of it is I mean, as much as I love the people that taught me in the initial phase and everything, I never discredit them. Shawn, you know I love you. Like, I've given you credit so much, but I think it's all about understanding where it ends and where another story begins. Right. And so it's like, Shawn, and like, once again, if you feel like I'm disrespecting you, chime in. But I think Shawn was able to give me the game until he could no longer give it to me at the point of where I was searching for. Yep. And so I had to go seek a whole nother hierarchy at that point. You know what I mean? And then at that point, once I mastered that point, I had to go seek another level. And I'm still getting other levels. And it's when we talk about mentorship, in relation to generational wealth, my son now has a successful network that he can activate whenever he decides, because of all of the mentors that I've had and all of and everything that I've worked for. And I think that is, you want to talk about a pyramid scheme. I think this is the most positive pyramid scheme you could ever devise.
Wow. Yeah,
it is.
Dang,
that's
man.
real.
Yeah, that's real.
And go what you were saying about the whole exposure thing. That's exactly what I tell people. So I used to go to my high school and I taught. And first question I asked the kids is, how many of y'all been downtown? I might get six
Mm-hmm.
hands out of a class. I might get 6 hands out of a class of 30.
That's crazy.
And
That is
because
crazy.
what a lot of us fail to realize, all we know is what we grow up and where we are at. But like
Oh,
you were saying,
absolutely.
and like you were saying, like I'm not flexing, and out of Mark, I don't think you were flexing. It's called being proud of your accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
And I
I appreciate
congratulate
that.
you. And I congratulate you on them 5 degrees. I have 3, and
Salute.
I went to my first 2 graduations. I did not go to because I'm not
My
one.
last
I,
graduation, I ain't
I
go
don't
to.
like I don't like ceremonies and all that stuff. Just give me my paper and my transcripts and tell me I'm good. But let me see, that was 2018, so I was 39. At 39, I went to my first college graduation, and I did that because I wanted to show my kids it doesn't matter how old you are. At any point in life, you can always go back and get more. I came back and got more. And I learned more, and I'm not gonna lie, I learned more the second time around. Well, the third time I should say. I learned more the third time around than I did the first 2 times. And I guess it's because I was older, I was a little bit more receptive or whatever. I just got to get through this class because that's what it was before. But I actually learned more, and that's what I was trying to show them. Like you say, it's the exposure. Look at what I did at 39. There's no reason that at 22 you shouldn't be doing the same thing.
Man, it's crazy hearing y'all talk about all this, man. And Mark, nah, you're right, man. That's what it's about, man. As a mentor, which I'm sure y'all are becoming mentors now since y'all are grown ass men. You don't have all the answers. You can't. It's not your job to. It's not your job. Your job is your job. You know what I'm saying? You can only lead a person up to where you can lead them, man.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like the greatest thing I have now is, being able to have y'all as my peers. You know what I'm saying? Like not on some me trying to little bro y'all niggas or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like just being able to have y'all as my peers. You know what I'm saying? And so that to me is the true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just proud of that. Those are my greatest accomplishments. Just seeing y'all surpass me in different ways, man. I love that shit. Some people feel a way about that, but I love that, man. So for me, it was just like in terms of the background and generational wealth. Like my mom had 4 boys by the time she was 22. You know what I'm saying? We started off. We was born in Washington Park, Woodlawn, on 60th and Vernon. And so by the time I was 8, we moved out to the Hunnits to Morgan Park. And so my grandma bought a house to get us out of off the low end. And at any given point, it was between 10 and 15 of us in that 2-bedroom house. So even to this day, it's like, people who grew up with us, some of them don't even know who was brothers and who was cousins. Like y'all know my cousin Brandon, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause he was a grandma too. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon has always been like the little brother I never had. You know what I'm saying? Because my uncle, I ain't afraid to put this out there. My uncle still to this day struggles with heroin and cocaine issues, and that's his father. That's my mother's youngest brother. You know what I'm saying? And Brandon and Big Ken, who's his father, they still live with my grandma, who's 88 now. And so Brandon's brother, Trenton, I got to put this in here, in there. Trenton is Brandon's older brother. Lil Ken is his other older brother. Lil Ken got killed in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Which was, something that we still deal with today in terms of trauma. But his older brother, Trent, me and Trent are the same age. And since April 11th, Trent has been, on the ventilator, man, fighting this fucking coronavirus. So every time somebody says this shit is bullshit, like I ain't been. What took me so long to put this shit together is the fact that, Trenton is my co-D. He's my everything. Every law I've broken in my life has been with Trenton. When I got shot, I was with Trenton. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just I can't even focus without, until I know this nigga is good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how my household is. You know what I'm saying? I spend all my time, when Trenton was in Murder Town, I was in hustling in Murder Town. when Trent was in Jeffrey Manor, that's how I ended up in Jeffrey Manor, which is where I ended up hustling that and getting shot too. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so when my mother was so poor, and this ain't, my mother ain't here, you know what I'm saying? So I never want to, talk greasy about her. Like, she tried her best. When I went to college, I still got my financial aid papers and her tax papers. She didn't even make $7,000 a year as a you see them yellow station wagons drive around and say the maid. She worked at the maids and she was a supervisor. She didn't even make $7,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? When I went to college, you know what I'm saying? And so when Trenton got new shoes, his old shoes were my new shoes. And that's how I ended up in the streets hustling, you know what I'm saying? And in retrospect, in hindsight, that wasn't the only decision I could make. But all I knew was that I could take $50 and I can go get this 16th, and I was on. And from that point on, it was cracking, you know what I'm saying? You lose your way. On one hand, you get in that game, you want to help your family, but then you end up like everybody else, you know what I'm saying, taking their money and doing whatever you want to do with it and living some type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So that was my background. I don't say that to glorify. I say it to say that was my background. My father, I thought I met my father when I was 16. Let's just assume this nigga is my father. When I was 16, I met this nigga. When I was 17, I met him again. And me and that nigga, we good friends to this day. And I ain't seen him since I was 17. I'll be 42 this year. You know what I'm saying? And it comes out since my mother passed that he may not be my father. So I've been on the quest to find this other nigga who they say may be my father, who I just look like. My brother said, my grandma said, my aunts and uncle said. And it only comes out since my mom ain't here because she would, you know what I'm saying? She wouldn't even allow that shit to be said when she wasn't around. So I'm in this place where, the money is fucked up growing up. To this day, I don't know who my fucking father is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like this whole thing. So I felt like I ain't had no choice but to come to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And so, when it came to y'all, man, when I got shot when I was 17, I didn't have to be shot twice to know that I needed to do something different, which is how I eventually ended up at Grambling. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, generational wealth, man, like to this day, I was just saying this yesterday. To this day, today, May 20th, whatever the fuck it is, 2020, there are no professionals in my family. We don't have a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, an EMT. We don't have a fucking nothing. We got niggas that'll shoot you. You know what I'm saying? And say whatever you need to sell to smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, the pressure is immense to make all these businesses work, to scale these businesses, to make all this shit happen. I can't even tell you how much the pressure is. It's me, it's my brother Don, and it's my cousin Trent, the one that's on the ventilator. And that ain't I love the rest of my family, my brothers, my cousins, but in terms of who's really, trying to build this generational wealth right now, it's us. So it's a lot of pressure, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit to figure out, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I take this shit to heart, man. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, I sleep 3 or 4 hours a day because it ain't no fucking game for me, man. It ain't no game. A lot of niggas we've met in college, that's our fry brothers, they don't understand you because they cut from a different cloth. That ain't to say that they cloth ain't shit, but that's to say that, nigga, my cloth is different. It's completely different, nigga. Why I do this shit is completely different. I don't have fucking time to play with you niggas, you know what I'm saying? Not y'all, but niggas that's on some fuck shit. I don't have time for that shit, you know what I'm saying? I got shit to build. So for me, and this gonna be attached to this video when I finish editing this shit. In 2017, in June, I retired from working for people, you know what I'm saying? So and the thing that every time I see it, even to this day, I tear up. It's my daughter. She posted this note on the wall that said happy no more, no work. I think she was like, what was this? This was 3. She was like 8 or something, 8 or 9 or something. She was like happy, retirement day, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just like the way I gauge my success is if I retire from somebody else's company, I failed in life. because that means that she had to work for somebody else's company. And that means that my nieces and nephews have to work for somebody else's company. And I hadn't maximized my potential. You know what I'm saying? So for me, everything I'm doing, yeah, you might hear me say that a million different business ideas. I believe in every fucking one of them. You know what I'm saying? I do. And I'm a lead this planet trying to make all them bitches grow and produce this shitload of money. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody got to do it. Period.
Facts.
100%, man. So that's where I'm at with it, with generational wealth, man.
Hey, I gotta make a run. One of my neighbors passed away. So like all our grandkids and stuff, people I grew up with, they all on the block. So I'm about to go hang out for a little bit. I know we supposed to be social distancing and all that, but
it's no explanation, bro.
But motherfuckers come from out of town, so I don't care. And not only that, the way I'm built, I don't know when my ticket go get punched. So hey, I'm gonna enjoy this thing called life till the wheels fall off. But I can't wait until we do this again. On my final note on all this, love the person you're with, know the person you're with, and try to do everything that you can to build a financial and a humanitarian success for your children. Hey, I love you, brothers. I love the fact that we as black men can have these conversations, and there's no ego involved, and it's all love, and it's all about helping one another.
Right.
Hey, Vaughn, before you go, I just want to just shout out to Dr. King, who's alpha, by the way. So throw that out there.
And
you know what I mean? Like he spoke about like just bridging the gap. Like he dreamed of a world where the GDs could politic with the Stones. And hey, sorry, I edit that shit up.
Hey, look, Mark. Hey, look. First of all, as a GD, let's talk about the true history of it all. We do all know it was one nation at one point in time.
Yeah, we know. Yes, that's what we accept.
Yes, sir.
But also, when you talk about Dr. King, who was Dr. King's ace and where he got most of his backing from and his ideas? That guy by the name of Ralph Abernathy, who was a what? A noob. But neither here nor there. We know how to fall back and let another motherfucker go get shot in the chest. But hey, man, I really do fucking like real shit. I really do appreciate y'all, man. I really do. And Shawn, let me know when we doing another one. So
Vaughn, hey, give my number from Shawn.
I will.
Get my number from Shawn.
And the thing is, like, I wanted to have the all male joint. Then it's gonna be like an all female joint. I'm not even gonna be involved in that shit. Then we're gonna bring it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna form like Voltron. You feel me?
That'll work.
Hey, that's that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess the noobs ain't pay their bill. You know what I'm saying? They got cut off.
Hey, Shawn, I think first of all, this was dope. It gave us a chance to sort of like walk it through the male perspective of things. I think this needs to be compartmentalized. Of course, you'll edit it when you see fit. It's good to talk about a lot of things, but I think if you're going to do something like this, the themes should be that conversation. Like if financial, like it's so much to talk about when we talk about financial empowerment and generational wealth. 40 minutes wasn't enough for that particular topic.
I'm gonna stop the recording real quick so we can talk about that, Paul.
Go ahead.